we're leaving behind the wild, rugged terrain of the Lake District. I'm travelling cross-country, heading towards Northumberland. For me, this ancient land, buffeted by the North Sea gales, is one of the most exciting coastlines in Britain. The island of Lindisfarne. It's joined to the mainland by a narrow causeway. Twice a day it's cut off as tides sweep across these mudflats. Over the centuries, foolhardy travellers have drowned here. In the 1790s, two young artists came here in search of inspiration. One would live to enjoy fame and fortune, while the other would die young and be forgotten. Together, their genius would change the face of British landscape painting forever. Their names, William Turner and Thomas Girtin. Girtin was the first to come here. It was 1796. He was 21 years old. He'd just finished an apprenticeship in London. Girtin had been tutored in the strict artistic rules of the day. Stifled by convention, he travelled north to find freedom and fresh inspiration in the wild scenery of Northumberland. Girtin was a rebel, a natural breaker of rules. He thought that the traditional teaching on how you should draw and paint was cold and unfeeling. He didn't want to draw every precise little detail of what he saw. Instead, he wanted to give an impression of how he felt about the landscape. And so, he insisted on painting in the open air, in a vantage point here, and worked obsessively until he'd captured the mood of this place. Girtin's epic painting shows man dwarfed by the immensity of the landscape. He's not attempting a precise reproduction of the scene before him, but a vision of it, shaped by his own feelings. He's exaggerated the height of the rocky outcrop. Detail is abandoned for loose, dramatic brushstrokes. When it was exhibited, some people said his style was lazy, even that it was unfinished. But others said Girtin burst like a meteor upon the public. Within weeks of seeing Girtin's painting, William Turner set off for Lindisfarne, determined to outdo his friend and rival. It would be the first of many trips north. In this wild landscape, Turner gave full rein to his emotions. A storm is brewing. Dark clouds threaten to envelop the sunlit scene. The turbulent North Sea swells and crashes, battering the island. In the foreground, travellers struggle ashore. Again, nature towers over mankind. Girtin and Turner came to define the golden age of landscape art. But while Turner's career brought him fame and fortune, Girtin's was tragically cut short. Painting outside in all weathers, he succumbed to asthma and died just 27 years old. But in his short life, Girtin painted some of the most powerful pictures of the North. An inspiration to other painters, even if forgotten by the world. Heading southwest, I'm entering Bronte country. Through the snowy waste, across the blasted heath, one. He'll draw his I love it on top of the moors. You feel more free, I think, on these hills than in real mountains, which are always sort of lowering over you. Here, you really are on top of the world. It makes your spirit soar. I wish I were out of doors, half savage and hardy and free, and laughing at injuries, not maddening under them. I'm sure I should be myself were I once among the heather on those hills. Emily Bronte's story of the tragic love affair between Catherine Earnshaw and the brooding hero Heathcliff would change the way we feel about the Yorkshire moors forever. This great outcrop of rock is known in Wuthering Heights as Penistone Crag. It's the secret meeting place of Cathy and Heathcliff. And this is the Fairy Cave. Legend has it that if you crawl through here, you'll be married within a year. Well, I'm already married, and luckily, I don't think I could get through it if I tried. Wuthering Heights shocked Victorian readers with its violent and passionate portrayal of love. Yet Emily Bronte was a shy young woman who led a sheltered life and never married. Like all the artists and writers who opened our eyes to the wild beauty of the North, she found a special kind of freedom in this landscape. It must have been wandering on these moors that inspired Emily's imagination, led to that passionate and emotional writing. Her elder sister Charlotte understood it. She wrote once that Emily loved the moors. Out of a sullen hollow on a livid hillside, she said, Emily could make an Eden.